Joining us right now, Tom Fitton. He, the president, of course, of Judicial Watch, which, by the way, congratulations and happy anniversary. 25 years of Judicial Watch. That's really something, Tom.
It is. It's a remarkable achievement. A lot of groups and businesses don't last that long, and government corruption is good for business, bad for the country, but we aim to please in terms of trying to uncover it and stop it.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it's actually kind of depressing that you're needed, but you are needed, and I'm glad you're there. Let's talk about this story John Solomon is breaking from The Hill. A lot of people are picking it up and confirming it, although nothing definitive from the Inspector General or Justice Department, that there will be a criminal referral with regard to James Comey's leaks, but Attorney General Barr and his team at the DOJ will not actually act on those referrals. What are you hearing?
Well, that's what I'm hearing too. Fox News has confirmed it as well. It's disheartening and incomprehensible in many ways as to why the former FBI director could take FBI files on President Trump, keep them at his home, leak them with the idea of having him destroyed through a special counsel operation, and in the course of doing that, leak classified information, and then give him a completely free pass on this. It's just I don't understand it. We'll wait and see what the explanations are. But when I see he didn't have the requisite intent used to leak classified information, I see a Justice Department once again rewriting the law to protect a politically connected figure like Mr. Comey.
Yeah, and by the way, let's go.
There is no intent requirement. You can't leave classified material or handle it in a way that's going to lead to its possible disclosure. That's why there is no intent requirement. Otherwise, it's an anarchy in terms of security clearances and the mishandling classified information.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Anybody then can just say, "Well, I didn't mean to do it," and then you're fine. And by the way, let's go back to one item here that you mentioned that it has not gotten enough play. I don't think you guys uncovered this. I think at Judicial Watch, the fact that he had these memos at his home, and the FBI they came to his home to actually collect things from him, and he disclosed that some were missing.
Yeah, they went to his home to interview him, and in the course of the interview, he says, "Well, I have these memos." It's not clear whether they were sent to get him or not, or whether they had others. And then he says, "Well, there were other classified memos I talked about that you don't evidently have, or memos that he created that they evidently didn't have." But you know what he didn't tell the FBI during that interview?
What?
That he leaked them.
And yet, of course, we discovered later that he did leak them, and now he's not going to be really held accountable for that at all.
Well, and again, the IG concludes that he lacked candor. That's a code for lying to the FBI. Ask General Flynn how that worked out for him.
Yeah. Well, listen, throw us something here. Can I be hopeful or optimistic that maybe the Justice Department is keeping their powder dry, because there's some bigger things down the line for Mr. Comey and his team that go well beyond leaking and mishandling confidential memos? What about entrapment? What about something that's a little bit more significant? Because I've seen some evidence that you have been able to uncover, Tom Fitton, that really does rise to the level of outrageous and criminal behavior.
One can always hope, but I can't imagine a simple case being passed over for a case that would be intensely more complicated and break new areas of ground potentially in terms of criminal prosecutions. And I'm not suggesting that nothing be pursued, but the idea that it's going to be easy to prosecute the former FBI director or CIA director or whoever over their decisions about how to handle intelligence information, however ill-gotten and skullduggerous it was used to deploy national security assets to protect the country. I mean, that's going to be a tough argument to make and prosecute.
Yeah.
And unsurprisingly, I think based on this type of decision making, that they're going to walk as well.
By the way, let's just remind everybody, the reason that James Comey deliberately leaked those memos to the New York Times through a cardboard cutout, his friend, was because he's even admitted this. He wanted to trigger a special counsel on President Trump. President Trump is the real victim here.
It is. The president's a crime victim. These were his FBI files that were leaked illegally, and it highlights this is the corrupt formation of the special counsel. It was not just immaculately conceived. It was a result of illegal acts by the former FBI director. He admitted he did it to get it done. And imagine this: his friend Robert Mueller gets appointed.
So this is again, we use this term deep state, but this is what we're talking about here, where it's all this little club, Tom Fitton, and it seems like they're circling the wagons yet again, even though it's Trump's guy, Attorney General Barr, who was supposed to be calling the shots here.
And I'm sure he did call the shots ultimately here, but my analysis is, and I don't have all the information in front of me, is that the IG did a narrow investigation of what Comey did, raised a narrow crime, and the Republican lawyers in the Justice Department, and I don't use that term in a positive way, figured that they didn't want to have to prosecute this. Right. It was small ball.
Well,
and to me, that's just a miscarriage of justice if it worked out that way.
And again, this is the referral we're talking about that we're anticipating from Inspector General Michael Horowitz. There is a secondary investigation going on that the Attorney General has asked coming out of the U.S. Attorney in Connecticut, and there could very well be more action coming out of that.
Yeah. That's substantial, and let's hope something gets done. But in the meantime, we know this misconduct occurred, and there's no accountability, and they're using the Hillary card to let him go.
One other thing, there's another report coming in here that I know you have been on top of at Judicial Watch. That has to do with the immunity that was granted to Hillary Clinton's lawyers. These are the ones who were up to their necks in the email scandal. And now I know Jordan Sekula and Jay Sekula, those guys have gotten some FOIA requests unearthed here that really shows exactly what kind of immunity they got. Have you ever seen anything like this, the lawyers of Hillary Clinton getting the kind of broad immunity with regard to the email scandal that they received?
No, there's nothing like it. Look, the cover-up of Clinton and the attack on Trump, that corruption, there's nothing like it in American history in terms of the politicization of justice and intelligence agencies to protect one political person, Hillary, while attacking any other. Yeah, we deposed Hillary's lawyer about 2 months ago now, and she admitted to us an oath that she got immunity for despite her being involved in deleting those 33,000 emails. And the details that Jay's group has come out with detail the laws specifically for which they were granted immunity, and it's worse than you think because it's espionage, obstruction of justice, and things like that. And we had a federal court judge in one of our cases in which we did get the discovery that saw the testimony of the witness, Mrs. Clinton's lawyer. He said he was shocked that Cheryl Mills was given immunity because he's already called her out and found her to have committed perjury in another Clinton email case.
Yep, and sadly, we sit back and all we can do is get these FOIA requests that you're so good at Judicial Watch, so that months or years later we get some level of transparency where we see how people on the correct side, on the Democrat side of the equation, end up getting away with these things, and there's no repercussions, and all we can do is expose.
And Barr aside, though, Larry, the Justice Department is still protecting Hillary. They're fighting us tooth and nail on virtually everything.
Well, anytime you want, you've got an open door right here, Tom Fitton. It's always good to talk to you. Again, congratulations on 25 years. And all we can do is keep beating the drum and keep screaming about this until finally something takes hold. I know that you want that to happen as well. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Mark.